Coronation Street has changed its closing titles to reflect an exciting new era for Carla and Lisa. The popular couple tied the knot in Thursday's episode, April 23rd, and the show has wasted no time in updating their surnames in the end credits. Today's visit to Weatherfield concludes with Carla and Lisa now officially listed as Carla Connor Swain and Lisa Connor Swain. The change was first teased by Vicky Myers, who plays Lisa, in an exclusive chat with us on set earlier this month. It's the fact that viewers get to see this family coming together and celebrating these two women, the unifying of that family, and the Connor Swains are now an official thing. Vicky explained. It's so powerful that it's shown globally and people get to watch this every night, 5 nights a week. It's just incredible. I'm really proud of the show and that I'm the one who gets to play Lisa Swain. Or Connor Swain. When we asked if that surname change would become official, Vicky replied, "Yeah, Carla Connor Swain and Lisa Connor Swain." How amazing is that? Especially considering how far they've come and everything that's happened. Vicky has also updated her bios on X and Instagram to reflect the fact that she now plays Lisa Connor Swain. The wedding episode is now available to watch on ITVX and YouTube ahead of its ITV1 airing this evening. Corrie's big episode sees Lisa surprise Carla with the news that they can get married after all, despite their planned venue being flooded. Swarla had planned to exchange their vows in the function room at the Chariot Square Hotel, but Carl Webster's latest revenge plan against his mum Debbie put paid to that. Fortunately, the hotel is able to arrange a more low-key ceremony in another room. It's something that Ryan says, which Carla had said to him. It's basically about how Carla just wants to marry Lisa, Vicky said recently. Any hour, any venue will do. And that sets something off in Lisa. She realizes, well, we don't need all of this big fuss. Which Carla didn't particularly want anyway. It was more about the intimacy between the two of them. So Ryan and Lisa try to set some wheels in motion and recover the day. The cobbles of Weatherfield have seen heartbreak, betrayal, and enough dramatic exits to fill a lifetime, but every now and then, Coronation Street delivers a moment so warm, so emotional, that even the famous closing credits feel different. That's exactly what happened after Carla Connor and Lisa Swain's long-awaited wedding, as the iconic ITV soap made a touching and unexpected change to its closing credits, leaving fans emotional and social media buzzing. For weeks, viewers had been glued to the screen, watching Carla and Lisa's complicated journey unfold. Their relationship had never been simple. Carla, known for her fierce independence and guarded heart, had spent years building walls around herself. Lisa, equally strong but carrying her own emotional scars, found herself drawn to Carla in a way she couldn't ignore. Their romance wasn't built on fairy tale perfection, it was built on trust, pain, resilience, and a shared understanding of survival. That's exactly why fans loved them. So when Coronation Street released early wedding scenes and confirmed the big day would finally happen, expectations were sky high. And the show didn't disappoint. The wedding episode itself was packed with everything fans could hope for: nerves, tears, family tension, heartfelt vows, and the kind of emotional honesty that makes soap weddings unforgettable. Carla looked stunning, elegant but understated, with the quiet confidence that has always defined her. Lisa, visibly emotional from the moment she arrived, struggled to hide how much the day meant to her. Even before the ceremony began, viewers could sense something special was coming. There were last-minute doubts, of course, this is Coronation Street, after all. A few familiar faces questioned whether Carla was truly ready for such a huge step, while others worried Lisa's past would cast a shadow over the day. But when the moment finally arrived and the two stood facing each other, everything else faded away. Carla's vows were simple but powerful. She admitted she had spent years believing love only brought pain, but Lisa had changed that. She spoke about learning to trust again, about finding peace in someone who saw every broken part of her and stayed anyway. Lisa's response was even more emotional. Her voice shook as she confessed that Carla had become her safe place, the person who made her believe happiness wasn't something reserved for other people. There wasn't a dry eye in Weatherfield. Even hardened Corrie fans admitted they were reaching for tissues. But the biggest surprise came after the ceremony. Traditionally, Coronation Street's closing credits are iconic in their own right, the familiar theme, the slow pan across the street, the quiet emotional landing after the drama. This time, however, producers made a subtle but deeply meaningful change. Instead of the usual standard ending, the closing credits were altered to reflect Carla and Lisa's wedding celebration, creating a softer, more intimate farewell to the episode. The music carried a different emotional weight. The final shots lingered longer, allowing viewers to sit with the joy of the moment rather than rushing into the next dramatic cliffhanger. It felt less like the end of an episode and more like the closing chapter of a love story years in the making. Fans instantly noticed. Social media exploded with reactions. One viewer wrote, "I've watched Corrie for 20 years and I've never cried at the credits before." Another posted, "Changing the closing credits for Carla and Lisa's wedding was such a beautiful touch. They deserved that." Others praised the show for recognizing how important the storyline had become, not just for the characters, but for the audience who had invested in them. Because this wedding wasn't just another soap event. It represented growth. For Carla, it symbolized choosing love over fear. For Lisa, it meant finally allowing herself to believe she deserved happiness. And for Coronation Street, it showed a willingness to let emotional storytelling breathe. Soap operas often thrive on chaos, murders, affairs, revenge plots, shocking exits. But sometimes, the most powerful moment is simply letting two people be happy. That happiness, however, may not last forever. Because while the wedding brought joy, longtime Corrie fans know peace in Weatherfield is never permanent. Rumors are already swirling that trouble could be ahead. Some viewers noticed subtle tension among guests during the reception. A few suspicious glances, an awkward exchange, and one mysterious absence have sparked theories that the honeymoon phase may be shorter than expected. Could an old enemy return? Is someone hiding a dangerous secret? Or will outside pressures begin to test Carla and Lisa's new marriage almost immediately? Producers have remained tight-lipped, which only fuels speculation. But perhaps that uncertainty is part of what made the wedding so perfect. For one night, the drama paused. For one episode, viewers were allowed to believe in something simple and beautiful. And that final closing credits change made sure the feeling lasted just a little longer. It reminded fans why Coronation Street has remained beloved for generations, not just because of the shocks, but because of the heart. Carla and Lisa's wedding wasn't about spectacle. It was about emotional truth. It was about two women who had fought through loneliness, fear, and heartbreak finally choosing each other. And in changing those final credits, the show quietly said, "This matters." It was a small production choice, but one with huge emotional impact. It told viewers that this love story deserved to be honored. That after all the pain, this happiness was worth holding on to. Even if only for a few extra seconds before the screen faded to black. And perhaps that's why fans are still talking about it. Not because it was flashy. Not because it was shocking. But because it felt real. In a street famous for drama, Carla and Lisa gave viewers something rarer, hope. And when the closing credits rolled differently, it felt like Coronation Street itself was smiling. For now, Carla and Lisa are married. For now, love has won. And for one unforgettable episode, even the cobbles seemed a little softer. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Crown ST.